What's up, everybody? Hate to be late, but was getting this article out that will be live in the next couple seconds about Jason Dominguez and the situation going on with him. With Jason Dominguez and Jack Curry reporting that we'll probably end up seeing him in the summer. Hot stuff was obviously going on, just making sure I was catching up on all the rumors. But with that being said, we are here to talk about the hot stove, the Blake Snell rumors, kind of give you, my read on what hot stove was like. I felt like hot stove was kind of not dismissive, but almost like it almost felt as if hot stove wasn't really pushing the idea that the Yankees are, as interested in a guy like Blake Snell as some people may have led us to believe, or as I'm saying some people, I am certainly one of the people who was writing about the news that came out earlier today. I think the Yankees have interest in Blake Snell. I think their interest in Blake Snell is still, we don't know what exactly their interest in Blake Snell is going to be. I think the big question here is, what is his market going to be relative to what everything that's going on with, the market, right? Like, we know that the pitching market's a little bit of a disaster. There are a lot of teams that want pitching. There are a lot of teams that need pitching, and there's not as many pitchers as, people think there is, or there's not a lot of viable options for the New York Yankees. And ultimately, I think that the New York Yankees are going to end up, I personally think that the New York Yankees are going to end up being still aggressive for a starter. I think that Michael Kay put it best. They can't walk into this without a starter. They have too many question marks in the rotation. But yeah, we'll wait and see on that front. But I'm going to start going to questions. Let me just get a couple of these links out. So got to take a look at the top of the comment section here. Ethan Cushman, my guy, says second MLB channel. Happy birthday, MLB channel. I don't know if I forgot to wish you a happy birthday when you mentioned it in the chat, but I hope you're having a great day, my man. Happy 20th. I know it's a big day. It's a big day for you, man. Hope you enjoy your birthday. And moving on a little bit here. Michael S. Dinitz says, I just don't understand why wait so long to get pitching. Why do we always sign has-been players or bum outfielders off waivers? Why hasn't our captain stepped up and demand quality players? Well, a lot of guys haven't really left the market yet. Again, Yamamoto left the market. That's a big blow. And Jack Curry talked about this too. That was their guy. That was the guy I think they thought they were going to get, and it just ended up not working out the way they wanted it to. And that's just how it is sometimes. Like, I hate to be, negative, or I hate to be, kind of inconclusive, but that's just how the market broke, and they didn't end up getting Yamamoto, and it is what it is. But yeah, just gonna get this tweet out about the Jason Dominguez not being here until the summer. Won't be seen. Likely still won't return until the summer, according to Jack Curry, as the team preaches patience with the young. All right, that article's out. Probably retweet the link now. For anybody just joining, we're going to be taking in everybody's questions. Obviously, there are a lot of questions about, I know there are a lot of questions regarding what the Yankees are going to do in the pitching market. I know that it's not a clear enough answer. I know that no answer I give will be clear enough. I understand that. It's just kind of how the market's moved. I'm going to try my best to answer these questions and give you guys clear answers, but it is what it is. What pitching was available and signed? They tried for Yamamoto and wants to come here. Yeah, for Michael K. Yeah, look, Michael K. Or not Michael K. You're talking to Michael above. Yeah, Dylan, I agree. There isn't really a lot of quality pitching that's gone that the Yankees were necessarily linked to, outside of course, the big elephant in the room here, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, who the Yankees did not end up getting. They were confident they were going to get him. I think they felt as if they had the allure. I think that end of the day, the Yankees didn't get a chance to, I feel like, really compete in that market, because I think he always wanted to be a Dodger. And Jack Curry talked to us a little bit. Obviously we're reading the tea leaves, and they use the phrase reading the tea leaves. And I think it's an important thing to use here, because everything we're doing is guessing. Everything we're doing is going based off of reports, going based on his actions. He's never flat out said, yeah, I was always going to go to the Los Angeles Dodgers. I can't sit here and tell you that that's the truth, that he's never really said that. But I do believe that he's going to end up. I do believe that he was going to be a Yankee at some point. Unfortunately, that just didn't happen. So, end of the day, there's nothing we can do about that outside of try to pivot and go from there. Jagent says, hi. Hey, Jagent, I apologize for the delay. I apologize, man. I hope that, you're still around. Hi, if Blake Snell, he is. Okay. Hi, if Blake Snell goes to the Yankees, what do you think his deal will be? I think it'll be a short-term deal. I personally don't believe the New York Yankees are going to, be able to get Blake Snell like a, 10-year deal. Not 10 years, excuse me, on a 6 or 7 year deal, a long-term deal. But yeah, I think that it's going to be if they get him, it would be a shorter term deal. I wonder if they explore the trade market. Edward Cabrera is a possibility. Jack Curry not Jack Curry, excuse me. Andy Martino discussed a little bit about the Miami Marlins having some arms that could be of interest to the Yankees. And I wonder if they go down that route. But yeah, like I think that there are a lot of interesting avenues, but I think if they got Snell, it would be a shorter term deal or a deal with a lot of opt-outs, because I don't think the Yankees want to necessarily commit it's about 6 years from him. So, yeah. Moving on. Salute Monty not coming back. Snell's been on the market this long. So, Jack Curry made it seem as if like a Monty reunion was still on the table. I'm not going to sit here and say that he's going to come back, but I wouldn't be as dismissive as Randy Miller was. I think Randy Miller kind of jumped the gun a little bit, being as dismissive as he was. The best offer on the table can still come from the Yankees. And as long as the best offer on the table comes from the Yankees, I think that he'll end up a New York Yankee. But again, like, we don't really know how this pitching market's going to go. So it's a little confusing. It's a little bit confusing. I really don't know what the Yankees, what the Yankees game plan is right now. I don't. So, yeah, like, I don't really know. There's just a lot of, I have to take down this tweet. I don't really know what the Yankees are going to do in the pitching market. Like, it's been strange, man. It's been strange. Do you think Blake Snell would do well? Would do well again? Yeah, absolutely. I think Blake Snell is an excellent starting pitcher. I think the question is, how many years is he going to be good for? And that's where I have my pause. That's where I'm like, look, I'm not necessarily willing to give, I guess, 6 years. Like, I'm not really that into that. I think it'll be more like 4 years, maybe an opt out, maybe 3 years. But yeah, I'm not really seeing a Blake Snell for 6 years as as a really good option for the Yankees at this moment. Yeah, there was a report saying Monty would rather return to the Rangers than a reunion with the Yankees. Yeah, and again, I'm not saying it's done. I'm not saying that Randy Miller has no idea what he's doing or what he's saying, but I don't think that the New York Yankees are going to be out of that race. I just don't. I just don't think they're out of it yet. Thanks, man. Hey, appreciate you, brother. Besides Soto, Judge, and Torres, we need two other hitters to step up. I think Verdugo and Rizzo are the two hitters you look at as, like, all right, left-handed guys. Stan's the big one. Stan's the guy they look at and say, this is the guy who has to step up next year. He absolutely has to be better than what he was last year. But yeah, like, I think Giancarlo Stan's probably the biggest X factor in the lineup. I think Alex Verdugo, is an interesting player. Anthony Rizzo, I think, has a pretty good chance of coming back and playing pretty well. I'm pretty confident about him for next year. So, yeah, that's how I view the situation thus far. So, I guess you would wanted me to rank my confidence levels. I think Rizzo's the most confident. Is the guy I'm most confident for a bounce back. Alex Verdugo, I think, can be a solid player. And then Stanton, I'm the least confident in, but I also think he's the most important player to bounce back next year. Do you think it's a good idea if they start DJ or Peraza at third? I personally don't. So, Starlet, I think that they have to go with the higher floor option, and LeMahieu is the higher floor option. They seem to not really like Oswald Peraza. That's up to their discretion. They obviously have more information than we do. I can't sit here and tell you that the Yankees are going to be right or wrong, but I am going to tell you that the Yankees feel as if LeMahieu is the right option. Michael wants a $2 billion roster. How did I not read that? I would love a $2 billion roster, but it's just not possible. Screw it. Just let the young guys pitch. Filthy stuff. Yeah, I think Will Warren's really good. I think Chase Hampton's really good. And I think both of those pitchers can make impacts on the team, but I think it would be unfair to place that burden on both of them. They should look to get a fifth starter to at least push those guys down the depth chart a little bit. Should the Yankees look into trading Tariq Skubal? Okay, so we're going to pull up Tariq Skubal stats. Tariq Skubal fan graphs. So Tariq Skubal is a extremely talented pitcher. Obviously had a really good year last year. 2.80 ERA in 15 innings, 15 starts, 32.9% strikeout rate, 4.5% walk rate, and a 51.6% ground ball rate. Doesn't give up home runs, strikes out a ton of batters, doesn't walk anybody. This guy is really good. His velocity took an uptick. His stuff is better across the board. His command is really good. The upside here is amazing. I think this has a chance to be, one of the better starters in the American League next year. And I think that, I don't think the New York Yankees are going to trade for him. I don't think that the Detroit Tigers are going to look to trade him right now. And yeah, I think the New York Yankees are not going to trade for Tariq Skubal. I think if they were, that he'd be more on our radar. I think you should look at a guy like Edward Cabrera, maybe as a lower tier, trade candidate, or maybe even a guy like, Jesus Luzardo could be out there and it could be a trade candidate. Shane Bieber's out there. There are certainly options. I just don't believe that those options include guys like, I just don't think that Tariq Skubal is one of those options for the Yankees. Not So Family Fun Vision says, what's up? Hey, Ryan. I hope you're having, you say, hey, Ryan. I hope you're having a good night, family. Not So Family Fun Vision. You're my man. I appreciate you stopping by. Sign Blake Snell, win a title, then sign Burns, wait for Hampton and Warren, and have Dominguez and Jones stand pat. And if Soto walks, so what? We'll win without him, remain young. Merlin B, I think the Yankees need to prioritize bringing back Juan Soto next year. And yeah, I think that Juan Soto is the most important player on that team. In terms of guys that can bring back, that they have to bring back next year, because he's honestly, let's be real here, guys. He is the best impending free agent they currently have. He is probably the best free agent on that market next year. And ultimately, I just don't believe that the New York Yankees can let him go. So yeah, I think the New York Yankees are going to, I think the New York Yankees should end up going out and doing everything they can to bring back Juan Soto. That's just, it is what it is, man. That's how I view it. That's how I view it right now. I would say grab Snell, but it's a lefty, righty miracle, but we have hitters. I agree. I think, we have enough hitters to make that work. Thanks. I really appreciate you, man. Your channel is great. Hey, I appreciate you stopping by, dude. I appreciate you, Jagent. You're the man. 4 years with 2 mutual option years, maybe. I could see that too, for sure. I could definitely see that. But I think that he would want an opt-out earlier too. But we'll see. Can you power rank your fifth arm in the rotation? Snell, Monty, Managa, Cabrera, Bill, Bieber, Warren, Hampton, Beater. So I'm going to slot Beater as the last guy. And I'm adjusting. I'm going to do a list without adjusting for price. Beater's last. I'm going to go Hampton second to last. Warren's third to last. I'm going to go with Cabrera, then Imanaga, then Bieber, Monty, Snell. Then adjusting for price. So let's say, you have to adjust for the fact you're going to have them beyond 2024 and, what you're going to have to give up to get them. All that stuff. I think that if you rank it based off of that, my number one guy is Shane Bieber. My number two guy would be, it depends. Is Blake Snell on a 4-year deal? Is it a 3-year deal? Is it a 6-year deal? That changes my answer a little bit. I'm going to go Snell 2. I'm going to go Monty 2. I'm going to go them both 2A, 2B. It's interchangeable for me. I'm going to go Cabrera, right behind them. I'm going to go Imanaga after. I'm going to go Warren, Hampton, and then kind of well below Beater. Beater is a tick below anybody else on that list by a country. I don't think he's considered a starting option for me. I just don't think he's a starting pitcher right now. I think he's a good pitcher. I think he has the upside to be a solid pitcher in this league, but not a starting pitcher. So, Will Warren also mentioned just now on Hot Stove that he believes that his goal for 2024 is to be in the Bronx. So I think that he's going to end up, being in the Bronx at some point this upcoming season. 162, same as Rodon. I agree. I think that, I agree that we could see that contract for Blake Snell, but I'm personally not giving that contract for him. And I don't think the Yankees should. So that's just my take on it. I could be wrong, but yeah, that's the way I view it. The best situation IMO is the trade with Cleveland for Bieber and Clase. Macho, I don't think they're getting Emmanuel Clase, but I could see a trade for Shane Bieber. Monty not come back to the Yankees. I'm going to kind of throw a little bit of doubt on Randy Miller on that one. Just a little bit, just a tad bit, just saying it's one guy, and Jeff Passan said they love a reunion, and Jack Curry says the Yankee officials still believe that's on the table, so you're going up to bat against Jack Curry and Jeff Passan. I'd say you're probably losing that battle. Personally, that's how I feel. Yeah. Trevor Alley says, hey, Trevor, hope you're having a good night, my man. Zach also says, what's up, Zach? I hope you're having a good night as well. According to Chris Cotillo, a Red Sox writer, well aware of him, he's a pretty good writer, like all things considered. I've never seen anything that would suggest he isn't great at what he does. Blake Snell's probably willing to sign a short-term contract with an opt-out. Again, that's been floated out there. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I'm taking that with a grain of salt. But if that's actually true that I'm willing to do that, I would be thinking something similar to Carl Rodon's 2-year, $44 million with an opt-out contract when he was back with the San Francisco Giants, then opted out after the first year. I could totally see this. I think something with a higher AAV, maybe 2 for 60. I would do 2 for 60. Like, I'm going to be honest with you guys, I'm not high AAV, but the big thing for me is that I don't have to make a long-term commitment. And not having to make a long-term commitment is the biggest thing for me. I don't want the Yankees to be the Yankees can get a great pitcher without having to make an offensive commitment. That's the win. You know what I mean? That's to me what I think the Yankees would be. Like, if the Yankees can do that, they're walking away from this offseason. And I would consider it a roaring success. I know roaring success is aggressive, but that's what I would consider it. Do you think the Yankees can steal Hader and Snell in free agency plus Soto trade? Is it really realistic to get 3 all-star off Padres? I don't think the Yankees are going to get Josh Hader. I think Blake Snell is still like they could, but it's not the most likely outcome. Like, I wouldn't say they have a better than 50% chance at acquiring Blake Snell. But yeah, like I mean, I don't even know. Like, I don't think that the New York Yankees are going to walk away with Josh Hader at all. Like, I just don't. That's the way I view it. Aaron Boone about to give another number 18 jersey to a free agent. That's pretty funny. I can't lie. By the way, sorry to be late. I was waiting for YouTube notification, but I never got it for some reason. I started off late. And that's kind of that's on me. Don't worry about it. Also, apparently Joel Sherman reported that Aaron Nola's $172 million contract, Jordan Montgomery's looking to top that. So I'm steering clear of Monty right now. I haven't seen anything that suggests, nothing that suggests that the New York Yankees are going to go out. The New York Yankees are going to go out and be the type of not the Yankees, excuse me, fuck. I mean, Jordan Montgomery. The Yankees aren't going to end up signing Jordan Montgomery for a $180 million deal. I'm sorry. Like, that's just not happening. I know that people want Monty back, and I want Monty back, but I just don't think that's happening at all. Like, I really, 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 really don't. But yeah, there's that. I like using multiple young pitchers like the Rays do: Warren, Beater, Gomez, Hampton, Barkley, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, but I would also like a little bit of depth. I would just like a little bit of depth. That's all. I just want a tad bit of depth. That's really it. If I could just add a little bit more depth to my roster, that's all I need. Like, I just need a tad bit more depth. I need some insurance in case something bad happens. Do you think our lineup can get us to the trade deadline with the staff as is and make adjustments when it may be easier to get pitchers? I think they need to add pitching still. I need pitching. I'm not going to sit here and say don't need any pitching. I'd like them to add a pitcher. Doesn't have to be a superstar. Doesn't have to be Corbin Burns. But you know what it could be? It could be, I think it could be a guy who looks more like maybe it's a guy like Sean Manaea, or maybe it's, bring in James Paxton and a reliever. But I would like them to add a starter, preferably that slots ahead of Clark Schmidt. I don't know if that's not a direct quote. I'm not quoting that the Yankees are looking for that, but the Yankees are looking for pitching. We do know that. And again, I think the New York Yankees should look to get a pitcher that slots ahead of Clark Schmidt. Yankees are the only team that showed interest for Snell. Angels and Giants are involved. L. Yankee King says, hey, hope you're having a good night. I would like Blake Snell. I would too. Snell for 5 years, $150 million. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think so. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, we'll wait and see. I'm not entirely sure that I would do this though. That also kind of killed my Snell dream, says Reggie 2K, but I don't think it 100% means it's unlikely. I agree. It did kind of kill the dream a little bit, but not enough where I'm like, all right, there's no chance. Just enough for me to say that the New York Yankees are like they're it's not the likeliest option in the world. Like, it's not like the Yankees have like 55% chance of landing Blake Snell. So yeah, that's the way I view it. Cheaper than Yamamoto. Yamamoto, I wanted Yamamoto, and I would have wanted Yamamoto still more than I want guys like Blake Snell and all that stuff. Yankees won't empty the farm for a pitcher. Yeah, I don't think they're trading anybody massive for a pitcher right now. I'll take Snell, Ocean View Coffee Shop. I would love Snell on this team. Watching War now, dude acts, looks, and talks like a pitcher. I think I'm all in. I think the fact that he's on Hot Stove is pretty fucking crazy. Like, this guy is not a top 100 prospect in the organization or anything like that. Not in the organization, excuse me, in all of baseball. And he's not on the 40-man. Like, the Yankees have not placed him on the 40-man. They're talking like this fucking guy is going to be here next year. I think he's going to fucking be here next year. They've talked about this dude like he's going to be here next year, and I need him to be here next year. That's the way I look at it. You know what I mean? I think that the New York Yankees definitely need to look into bringing a guy like Will Warren onto their team next year. I think he's really damn good. And ultimately, I think he's one of the most talented pitchers in the organization. Why do people think that Judge would push the Yankees to push for Snell just because Judge and Snell are good friends? But why didn't he say that with Monty? I think he's probably like, hey, I want good players. And, Blake Snell is a friend of mine and he just won the fucking Cy Young. It's probably what it is. I don't think that the Yankees are going to, I don't think the New York Yankees are going to go out and try to, I don't think he's going to sign Snell just because Judge said so. That's the way I put it. I think that we could see them in the trade market. Maybe they go out and acquire 2 pitchers. Like, could they do, something I would love to see, I would be happy with this. Not necessarily like overblown with this, but just happy as in like, this is pretty good. Could they do like Edward Cabrera in a second starter? I could see that. I just need starting pitching. I just need guys who are good. I just need starting pitching, man. I just need quality starters. That's all I need. That's what I need. I just need quality starters. What about 6 years, 150 with a club option for the 5th and a player out after the 3rd year? We'll see. But I could see this. I think that this could be a really, like, a pretty good deal. I mean, I just don't think he's going to take it because that's only $150 million. Like, he's going to look for closer money to Aaron Nola. Judge and Monty were developing the minor league system together. I'm sure they're good friends as well. I'm sure they are too. I'm just like, I think that, the Yankees are just pushing. I think they're just pushing. They're just looking at their options right now, and I'm not really sure what the Yankees are going to do yet. Just yet. I'm not sure what they're doing yet. I think that's kind of there's just not a clear answer for them right now. Staying to 40-40 man next year playing center field. Yeah, if he steals 40 bases, I'll go bald. I'll shave my head bald on this stream. Peters reliever in my eyes. I agree. I think Clayton Peters a reliever as well. Monty's done with the Yankees. I don't know about that. I think he just like Texas is nice because there's no state taxes. So the amount of money, like let's say the Yankees offer 135 and the Rangers offer 135, he makes more money with the Rangers. So yeah. I think Judge and Soto's pushing for Snell, and Cole's okay with that. Soto will be re-signed long-term. I predict 2 Cy Young going head-to-head, and Soto and Judge will be in the chase for MVP. That's obviously what you dream of. That would be a dream scenario. That would be an incredible. That would be what you want. That's exactly what you want. Like, you want this type of, incredible star talent. Like, if you have a team that has this type of star talent that can be this good, that has this much upside, and you filter in some young guys from your farm system, you have some depth, you have some guys that were not great last year that are kind of borderline guys to be good next year, and they step up, that's the type of team that goes out and runs for a World Series title. Do you think it's realistic the Yankees sign Snell and trade for Dylan Cease? Reports are Yankees are out on Shota Imanaga. Again, I think that the reports that the Yankees aren't that interested are kind of true, but I don't know if it's like, I don't know if they are completely out. I just don't think they're interested in that price tag. But to address the earlier thing, I don't think that the Yankees are going to trade for I don't think that the New York Yankees are going to trade for Dylan Cease, regardless of what they do. And I'll say they definitely won't, especially if they get Blake Snell. So yeah. And do I see that happening? That would be sick, though. Do you think Stan will steal 30 bags this year? No. I think Monty, Hader, and Snell will be a Yankee. I don't think you're going to see all 3 of those guys as the Yankees. Monty's not going to the Yankees. I wouldn't close the book on that yet. Yankees don't want Imanaga. Yeah. So I don't think the Yankees are going to get up with Imanaga. In 2024, Warren would be better than Imanaga in 2024. That's a hot take. I could see it. Just curious, don't mean to be negative, but when you all mispronounce Passan on Fireside Yankees, is that on purpose or an inside joke? Tides Tigers, I actually just can't pronounce names. I'm being so serious with you. Like, I hope this isn't like a cop-out. I legitimately cannot pronounce names. I really hope this isn't a cop-out. I hope you don't feel like this is an unsatisfactory answer, but I genuinely don't know how to pronounce names correctly. I'm really bad at that. It's an unfortunate thing considering what I want to do with my career, which is be a media guy and work here. And I work on that. I've never, like, the thing is that I forget if it's Passan or Passan. Because I've heard Jeff Passan and I've heard Jeff Passan. I've heard both. Comments, help me here. Is it Passan or is it Passan? Just give me a hand. I always seem to forget. That's what the Yankees are looking at Snell. They know Monty won't come back. I don't know about that. I think they're just looking at Snell because they think he's a better pitcher. Snell plus Cole equals World Series. Right, I agree. Writing on the wall, that's fair. Who do you think is more realistic for the Yankees, Snell or Monty? I would say Snell at this point, but I don't know. Like, Jack Curry kind of poured cold water on the idea that it was like clearly going to be, clearly going to be a guy like, I don't know. I don't think that if Jack Curry made it more clear that Monty, Jack Curry made it clear that Monty could come back. And he didn't just go out and say, yeah, Blake Snell, that's the guy the Yankees covet. Like, it was interesting. It was a very interesting wording of how he talked about both players. So I don't want to read into it too much, but yeah, like, I don't know. Simplify it. They don't want to go too hard. We'll see. Monty was not as good with the Yankees, to be honest. That's fair. He was better with Texas. One pitcher, that's all. Rodon needs to earn his paycheck. I agree. He needs to earn his paycheck next year. Does Harrison Bader's butler call him master? Maybe. Market is inflated enough. I think he gets at least the Rodon contract. MLB trade rumors for to get 7 for 200. We'll see. I think it's possible, but we'll see. Short-term deal for Snell isn't going to cut it when he can go elsewhere for a much better deal. Yanks have to commit or lose out. That's fair, Eric. Maybe they don't end up with Blake Snell. I'm not saying they are going. Again, I don't think they're favored to end up with Blake Snell. I think they're just a candidate and they're throwing their hat in that ring. But we'll see what they do. It's just unclear what the Yankees are going to do. It's not obvious. There's not a clear-cut answer. There's nothing that would suggest the Yankees are going to, glean one way or another strongly. And yeah, like it's unfortunate because I don't really know what they're going to do. I really don't know what they're going to do. If it's 3 to 4 years, high AV, absolutely. I agree. For high AV, 100%, exactly what I would do. If the Yankees give Snell a 3-year with an opt-out deal, do you, Ryan, want to have a fifth starter spot competition that Clark Schmidt is likely going to win, or do you want to trade for Edward Cabrera? Clark Schmidt's a fifth starter, compete with Will Warren, let them duke it out. I think that there's enough talent there for a fifth starter. And I think Clark Schmidt right now, like without getting better, is a good enough fifth starter, which might shock some people, but is it really shocking? Like, he's probably a league average starter, and I think a league average pitcher is kind of what you hope for in a fifth starter. Forget Hader, give me the airbender, Rivera 2.0. I'm going to do you one better. Assuming the Yankees can't get Williams in the trade market, which I would say they can't if they can't get Burns, right? Sorry, water is a necessity. I'm parched. Robert Stevenson, great cutter, 59% whiff percentage on the cutter. That's a special pitch. That's a really good pitch. So you want a guy who has got a cutter and you want to think Rivera, which no reliever will ever be as good as Mariano Rivera in the history of baseball. No one will ever be as good. But I think that we could see, I think Robert Stevenson would be an excellent addition personally. I think something around 4 years, $100 million would be nice for Snell. I think you'd see more money than that. I think you would see like 4 for like 130, something crazy like that. Yankees are overpaying for either Monty or Snell. Mike Rocky, what would count as an overpay in your eyes? That's what I'm questioning. Not questioning, but that's what I guess I'm curious about. Do you think we need Hader? Don't think we need Hader. Bobby, I agree. Lower profile bullpen signings will work just fine. Bobby, again, I agree. No Monty. Hey, I respect that you are adamant about your opinion. Sign Snell, trade for Framber Valdez and Braxton Garrett, game over. And yeah, it's just not happening. Yankees can trade for Valdez, an option behind Snell and Cease. I don't think they're getting Framber Valdez. No way he's getting that money from the Yankees. I don't think he's going to get the if he gets a contract that's better than Aaron Nola, he's not going to be a Yankee. What team do you think Cole came from? Astros. Do you think our lineup is good enough to perhaps maybe prioritize innings over quality in the starting pitching market? Junior, that's a really good question. I just don't know if reliable innings necessarily exist. So, yeah, like I'm not sure if that's necessarily a thing that can happen. I don't know if the Yankees can find affordable, like reliable innings right now. Cease is a whip nightmare. That's fair. 3 years, $100 million with an elbow clause for Snell. I would love to see that. That would be sick. I would love to see something like that, but I don't think that's happening. And yeah, Pirates are apparently listening on Keller. Mariners are apparently listening on Miller, and Tigers are apparently listening on Terry Skubal. So I guess it answers the Skubal question from earlier. And I'm just gonna let you guys know now, a Mitch Keller article is coming out fucking tomorrow. I fucking love Mitch Keller. I would throw myself off a cliff for Rich Keller. It's a little bit much. How many years would we give Blake Snell? 3 or 4 guaranteed. Once again, I'm not answering that question. Catches and pitches report of the month. Yep. Nope, not doing that. Volpe wasn't on the roster in spring training last year. That's fair. Waiting until the trade deadline to look for more pitching would be insane given this year when they were virtually out of it at that point. They were not out of it at that point. They were still in the mix. Like if you look at, let's say July 31st, 2023 MLB standings. The Yankees are, okay, box score. Here we go. Yeah, the Yankees were in last place, actually, but they were from the wild card. Let's see. So the wild card teams were, so first place, fucking hell. Who are the, God, wow, but AL Central sucks, guys. Then wild card teams had Houston, Toronto, Boston. They were, so the third wild card spot was held by the Blue Jays. They were 3 games out of a wild card spot by then, and they were god-awful that year. They were fucking terrible, guys. Like, they were really bad last year. Like, in terms of their roster quality relative to this year's team, so bad. But, yeah, like, I don't think that the New York Yankees, I don't think the Yankees would be out of it at all. Like, they were bad and still ended up with fucking 3 games out of a playoff spot. Like, that's fine. Like, they can. I'm not saying they're going to be 3 out of I'm not saying I want them to be 3 games out of a playoff spot, but I think that they will be better than that. I think they would be one of the better teams in the American League next year. They're projected to be really damn good. But yeah, honestly, I'm in the same boat with this at this point. I just want a good pitcher. I don't care who it is. I agree, man. I don't care who it is at this point. What do you think of bringing Stroman in on a short-term deal? Look, Stroman, the pitcher, makes sense for the Yankees, sure. But, man, Marcus Stroman's just, he's not the type of person I'd be going to be honest with you. Snell, Hader, and Hicks. I could see Snell and Hicks, but not you're ready to taking them on, buddy. I'm trying to put myself bro. Oh my god. Cashman won't get robbed. I agree. He's not going to get robbed. The reliever that signed today will know we compete for bullpen spot on opening day, but what does that mean? Will we not re-sign Middleton or Stevenson? We'll see. I'm not exactly sure what the Yankees are going to do. I think they like Cody Petit. I think he'll be good next year because they like him, and they're usually right about those kind of things. Pronounce Pisson. Passin. Fuck. It's Passin. It's Pisson. It's Passin. Getting old Passin. Like passing the ball. Sells a better pitcher. Fair. Monty wants, I saw that. $172 million, not happening. Also, it's not just you and your co-host. It's your co-host. Don't mean to single you out. No, I know you didn't mean to single you out. I was just explaining for myself. I think it's probably because, that I mentioned, hey, I probably was like, hey, like I'll probably say Pisson or, the wrong one, whatever. It's Passin. I'd probably say, hey, Jeff Passan, and then everybody else kind of follows suit because they hear Passan and then say Passan as well. The pronunciation clearly isn't universal because everyone in the comment section is going to be different answers. But yeah, he's certainly a tough name to pronounce. Not because it's like a complicated spelling, but because like I don't really know. Like there's a lot of interpretations of it. Should we add Hicks or Josh Hader to the bullpen if we sign Monty or Snell? I'm not paying at all. Like I'm not paying Josh Hader. I'm not sure anyone left is getting $200+ million. I agree. Braxton Garrett is Andy Pettitte 2.0. I could see that, but I don't think that's happening. I don't think the Yankees are trading for him. 6 years, $27.5 million per mutual opt-out after each year. I don't think Snell's taking that. I think he'd want more money per season. Joel Payampas is a free agent. I actually was not aware of this. Joel Payampas has been bounced around with some interesting teams. He's been like a Brewer, a Ray, a Red Sox. He's not a free agent yet. If he's available in the trade market, I would love him, but he's not a free agent. I think the Brewers are going to hang on to him because he was really good for them last year, and he throws gas, and he gets ground balls, and he gets strikeouts, and he doesn't walk anybody, and he doesn't give up that many home runs. I think he's staying in Milwaukee. But, of course, if he were to become available and something were to come up, I think the Yankees would obviously love to have him. I want this chatter to turn to real signings, right, God? Give him a 3-year, $100 million deal. I agree. Go out and get me a guy like Blake Snell, I think that would be excellent. I'd rather overpay for upside stuff than as opposed to consistently mid. I don't think Montgomery's consistently mid. I think that's unfair. But yeah, he doesn't have the upside that Snell does. And if I guess you value upside more than, consistency, then you would go Blake Snell. LB channels just looking at Twitter, Hot Stove. Yeah, if you guys have been hearing me click, I'm checking everything when it comes to reports and rumors. I don't think that we need to fix Snell's command, but I think he trusts his stuff enough where he knows okay to give up walks. That's how Snell works. I agree. I think he's a smart pitcher. He knows what he's doing, and I think the New York Yankees, are going to. Personally, I think the Yankees are going to be, really, how do I put this? I think the Yankees are going to, if they sign him, they're going to just let him rock. Like, he has good stuff, and there's a reason why, he won the Cy Young last year. And it's not because he lucked into it. He's also a really good player. He's a really good pitcher, and he knows what he's doing. So, yeah. So what is the price for Snell to the Yankees? So I think that, I think that Snell's probably going to sign. I mean, I'm thinking 6 years, but I don't know. Like, I'm thinking 6 years, but we'll see. Like, I don't know. I really don't know. But maybe they can go out and get him at like a 3-year, 4-year deal, supercharge AAV. But I think it's going to be more of like a 6 or 7 year kind of deal. So yeah. What would you give up for Keller, and would you go all in and get Bednar as well? No, because I don't think the Pirates would do that, but I don't think Pereira's a headliner. I don't think Schmidt's a headliner. I think Peraza's a headliner. Probably going to have to deal, a Chase Hampton. So that's why I'm a little bit like, I don't know. Now, if you ask me, hey, if the Yankees could trade for Mitch Keller and they had to trade like Clark Schmidt and it's part of the package, I would do that. Let Will Warren be the 5th starter. I don't really care. And like, I'm going to be honest with you guys, I love Clark Schmidt, but like Mitch Keller would really help this team. Now, he does have a 1.5 years of control. So he would be a free agent, I believe, at a similar time as a guy like Nestor Cortez. Perhaps the Yankees, deal Cortez at some point over the next 1.5 years. But, that's obviously a question. Keller seems open to an extension. At least he was open to one with the Pirates. So maybe he's open to one with the Yankees. If you look at just straight up like what you're getting a guy who has pretty good stuff. This is a guy that I would compare to kind of a Joe Musgrove when he left the Pirates. If you're asking me to put together a package, I'm going to start just putting together one right now, kind of off the top of my head. Look at the pitch mix, looking at everything here. I'll say a package of, I would put together a package of like, you've got, I don't know, maybe you offer them a guy like George Lombard and you give them Clark Schmidt, or maybe you could even go Roderick Rios, Clark Schmidt, and then like a third lesser piece. I think that would get a deal done, but I don't know if I would do that. Maybe you offer Will Warren instead of Clark Schmidt. Maybe he's more valuable, but I don't know. Like, I don't know what the Pirates are looking for. But I would love to see Mitch Keller in the New York Yankees. They could be a team that likes Peraza. I don't think that they like him enough to make a deal around him, but he's a solid baseball player. Like that's kind of the, that's kind of the MO. Like he's solid at Major League Baseball. And I think that's enough for the Yankees to kind of have an enticing package. I could see them dealing, maybe a guy like an Augustine Ramirez, who's a catcher. They have catching help, but Andy Rodriguez isn't going to be around next year. So maybe he could help. Maybe a guy like a package of Clark Schmidt, Oswald Peraza, George Lombard Jr., and Augustine Ramirez. I could see that. Maybe subtract, a guy like, Schmidt from this deal and replace him with a lesser pitcher. I don't know, but I love the fact that he's durable. I love the fact that he pitched deep into games. I think he's a really excellent pitcher. Can you repeat what you guys said about Kelly and the other guys? I was caught off guard by that, and it didn't register to me what you said. I also talk really fast, so I got you. They're listening in on Miller, they being the Mariners. The Tigers listening in on Skubal. The Pirates are listening in on Keller. That's the scoop from Joel Sherman. And I think that makes sense. But I would say that, like, out of all the guys there, the guy that I think the Yankees have the best chance of getting is a guy like Mitch Keller. I think he just makes the most sense for them. But I could be wrong. Hey, I'm wrong all the time. It's what I do. But yeah, I'm just gonna put together I think this is a fine package. You put like Schmidt. I mean, maybe Selvin instead of Peraza. He's pretty valuable. We'll see. Dominique 5 says, what's up? I'll be having a good night, Dominique. Yes, Yankees get him very soon. I don't know what you're talking about specifically, but I don't think the Yankees are getting anybody particularly soon in like the next week or so. Give me Snell and Keller, Bieber, or some other Matt Blake work of art. Cole, Snell, Keller, Rodon, Schmidt, Nestor. That would be fire. I would love to see a rotation of like Cole, Snell, and Keller as the top three, and Rodon. Like, that's sick as fuck. I'm not going to lie, guys. That's fucking baller. Do you think we really need Snell or just trade for something cheap? I think we just need a starting pitcher. I don't think it has to be Snell particularly, but I would love it to be. Blake Snell because I think Blake Snell's a good pitcher. And I think that, if the Yankees would have signed him, it would be on a shorter-term deal. And if they're signing him on a shorter-term deal, that tells me, hey, this is a guy who could be pretty good for me. At the end of the day, I think that the New York Yankees have certainly an excellent, certainly the framework to get a deal done for a pitcher of that caliber, of that ilk. Had some audio trouble for a second. My bad. I apologize for that. The key for the Yankees to not sign Snell or Monty is not giving them either a no trade clause, then it's just money. That's fair. That's fair. Not giving either. I mean, I don't think they could trade either of them, though. Torres and Pereira for Cabrera, I wouldn't do that. I need to keep Gleyber Torres, Mo. Piss on, piss off. I love that. Spencer Jones and Jason Bates for Jose Ramirez plus a $50 million kicker goes through. Yeah, that's not happening. The Guardians are not trading him. Snell and Jordan Hicks is my dream. I like that. You aren't paying for Hicks? I would, just not hater. Jeff Pisson, name pronunciation, midget. I love that. Brewers have Uribe. Piampis is expendable. Again, but is he going to be for free? I don't think he's going to be for free. I think you would have to trade a decent amount of value to get him. If our offseason, Snell, Hader, Middleton, Edward Cabrera, rate that 1 through 10. That's a 10. I don't love the idea of signing Josh Hader, Lombrokin, but it makes you better. And this is a pitching staff that's supercharged with these guys. Snell will be the ace in the playoffs, and that's key. Yeah, he would be an ace in the postseason. I do like that. Hot stove just ended. I saw 6 years for a 31-year-old pass. I agree. I would have given him 6 years. I'm thinking more 3 to 4. I was hyped for Hot stove today. I was like, Jack Kerr's going to give us is going to come from the top rope and give us some breaking internal news. Yeah, it was kind of boring. I'm not going to lie. Why, in your opinion, is Monty not mid? Because he's consistent and a above average starting pitcher who gives you 30 starts a year is extremely valuable in the market. The Yankees are going to overpay $300 million for an unproven pitcher, yet they won't pay for a proven pitcher in Snell, a good closer and Hader who would cost about the same. Well, you project based off of stuff. Pitchers are a lot more like you can project off stuff and raw tools. You can't necessarily do that for hitters because how they adjust to breaking balls and stuff like that is something you can't data test until they play. Whereas for pitchers, you can kind of data test what their stuff should play like because we have an ample sample size of, and that rhymed, an ample sample size of how, pitchers perform or how pitches perform in certain situations. I'll go 3 to 4 tops. I agree. I go Snell, but I wouldn't give him a no trade clause. I don't think it really affect anything because it's a bad contract. Nobody's going to want to take him on. If Snell's priced for 160 at 45 per after first for 2 years, opted after year 2, and 35 per years 3 and 4, do you accept? Yes, I accept. I accept that deal. I know it's a lot, but I accept. I accept it, and I want to get better for this year, next year, and I think it would help with that. Just worried about the injuries of Snell. Hope it's not another Rodon situation, so I want it to be a shorter deal. I agree, Zach. There's definitely concern. 3 4th-year out, 3rd and 4th year opt out. That's fair. Or 3 years, 4th year option. That would be also fair, Jonathan Sosa. Baby Goat goes, I don't get why people hate on Snell. We have proof he worked in the AL East with the Rays. If the price tag is right and he's willing to sign, make it happen. If he's willing to do it, I agree. But I don't know if he's going to be willing to do it. And that's kind of the question you have to ask here. It was reported earlier today that Shane Bieber's chance of being traded are dwindling. Yeah, I saw that it's not necessarily a sure thing that he'll be dealt. So, I'm not trying to bank on him being traded. I used to think it was more of like, hey, they're going to end up trading him and the Yankees can bounce on that. It looks like that's not going to be the situation. So we'll see. Mitch Keller is a stud. Even if Skeens hits his 80th percentile outcome, Keller is probably Pittsburgh's number 1. I think he has a stuff to be like a top of the rotation kind of guy. It just relies on a couple things. I think that the development of his sweeper is going to be important. The usage of his fastballs, I think he should rely on his cutter a lot less. It's really not a great pitch. It doesn't prevent damage contact, nor does it get whiffs. I think he could go more four-seamer, sinker, more sweepers to righties, maybe more cutters to lefties. He platoons his pitch mix decently well. He kind of uses everything pretty evenly. But against righties, he is extremely heavy on his sinker and sweeper combination. And against righties, he performs really well. Now against lefties, we see, the four-seamer, the cutter, the four-seamer, the cutter, and the curveball take a lot more shape here. He platoons his pitches well. I really do think this could be a good pitcher for the Yankees or for any team, really. But I'm just not particularly sure that the Yankees are going to end up with him, and I'm not particularly sure that the Pirates are going to move him. I don't know how well they match up in a deal, and that's a wait-and-see situation. And there are a lot of Cole-like attributes, except there's one thing I will say. His four-seam fastball is definitely not as good as Mitch Keller's. are not as good as Garrett Cole. Mitch Keller definitely has a worse four-seam fastball than Garrett Cole. Like, it's not close. But the bulldog mentality, the ability potentially to get better outside of New York, those are all desirable traits that I could certainly see benefiting the Mitch Keller in 2024 and being reasons why the Yankees could consider going out and getting him. Moving on a little bit, I don't think anyone keeps putting Clark Schmidt in trades as it would leave us in the same position. A starting pitcher short. I understand we might be trading for a better pitcher, but it makes no sense to me. Ben Rivera, think of it from this perspective. If you were to trade Clark Schmidt in a deal for Mitch Keller, and you were to add, like, I don't know, Hinge and Ryu and have Will Warren, like, the Ryu and Warren will probably make up enough production that you're fine with it. And Keller's obviously a huge upgrade over Schmidt. I just don't think the Yankees could go into next year with Schmidt as the 4-starter. I know that that's, not fair to him because I'm not giving him a chance to kind of prove that he is more than can't be in the rotation. I'm just saying he shouldn't be the 4-starter next year, and the Yankees can definitely do better at that spot of the rotation. Yeah. Moving on a little bit. Cabrera would be a nice add-on piece for a team like the Pirates, being so versatile. So it sucks that Cabrera really got caught up in like just struggling last year. I don't know if the Yankees would sell low on him because I don't know if any team would really want him. But if Cabrera could be part of a deal, like if you have, Schmidt, let's say Schmidt, Selvage, Cabrera, and Augustin Ramirez, potentially that could get a deal done. there's no top 100 prospects in that deal. And I think they would want one. Like, let's look at the framework of the Joe Musgrove deal. Joe Musgrove trade. It was a 3-team trade. I forgot. Like the Pirates got Endy Rodriguez in this thing. So it was headlined by Hudson Head, who was ranked as just gonna look at where he was ranked on the early pipeline. Hudson Head. Let's see. Hudson Head was ranked as what? Like, where was he ranked in their organization? Head was ranked as their, I don't really know. Where was he ranked in their organization? Hudson Head. Come on. Why can't I find this? Come on. So I'm going to have to look at the 2022 farm system for them. Wow, he's only 22. So he was young as hell when the Pirates acquired him. Perhaps that's an indication that the Pirates could get a younger guy in return. I'm just trying to look for what MLB pipeline. I don't know MLB pipeline. I know that MLB pipeline isn't great, but if he's a top 100 prospect at MLB pipeline, he's probably a good prospect. Like that's what I'm kind of viewing this. We're gonna go to 2020. We're gonna go all teams. We're gonna sort and we're gonna find the Padres. We're just gonna look for Hudson Head was not on their top 100 in 2020. In terms of where he ranked in 2020, Padres top 30 by team. We're gonna go to the Padres in 2020. Hudson Head ranked as their 13th best prospect. And then in 2021, did he rank in their top? Was he still in the organization? No, you would have to go to the Pittsburgh Pirates. And Hudson Head ranked as their 6th best prospect and was not a top 100 guy. So I would say that the Yankees would be giving up as a 50. I don't think the Yankees would need to give up a top 100 prospect. Like, I don't think they need to give up like an insane pitcher or an insane guy. So maybe they could get a deal done. We'll see. Probably need to give up Arias to get Keller. I don't think they would. I think maybe like I could see George Lombard though. I could see George Lombard. That's a recent top draft pick. Maybe George Lombard, and like Oswald Peraza and Brock Selvage. Could see that getting a deal done. Pitching against Nelson Cruz, who wins. Chase Hampton pitching against Nelson Cruz, who wins that championship. What's good, bro? What's good, Tim King and Jordan? No brainer, Trevor. Cruz has no chance. It's fucking hilarious. Money's on Chase Hampton since Nelson Cruz can't hit pitches above 92 anymore. Hey, if you put Nelson Cruz in his prime, that guy is a fucking sick as hell hitter. You have Chase Hampton, Drew Thorpe in the chat, and waiting for Will Warren and Clayton Peter to be here. Dude, we're gonna have we're gonna at some point have Henry Lane, speaking in Spanish in the chat. Cleveland is a mess. Now is the time to steal J-Ram. I know that he's being wasted, sure, but like, why they don't have to trade him. They don't view it that way. They really don't have to trade him. I don't think they have to trade him. So, that's just the way it is. Guardians GM should be fine if he doesn't trade Bieber. I don't know. I think, maybe they think they can recuperate more value for him because if next year he's really good and they're bad, and they can trade him for a lot more, they could get a nice haul. I could say, I think you could get a nice haul for him if he gets better. Yoshino Yamamoto signs an MLB team, random MLB fan, overpaid. He hasn't thrown a single MLB pitch yet. He's not good. Trevor's not wrong. Trevor's not wrong about this. Who's Poteet? Is he any good? Good changeup, solid four-seam fastball, good slider. Needs to improve his secondary, like his tertiary offerings. Kind of needs to tighten up the arsenal, but I think the Yankees, could. I think the Yankees could end up really getting a solid return, like a solid pitcher here. More for the bullpen. I don't think he's a starter. Snell is more likely to come to New York over Monty. I think Monty goes to the Red Sox, Giants, Angels, or Mariners. Let somebody else get Monty. I think we should get Snell. Best pitcher, Cy Young with Garrett Cole. That's fair. I would love to see Blake Snell in the Bronx. I think both pitchers fit us pretty well. Starting to think Blake has to listen to nobody as he knows he wants, knowing he gets value out of them. I agree. I would like Snell and some bullpen help signings too. That would be good. I would like Snell to sign with us and some bullpen to sniff us up. It would boost our chances of the World's Championship plus the trade deadline like starters. I agree. I think it would help us a ton. Are you positive Yankees are not being used again? I'm not saying they're not. I mentioned this in the podcast I did with Aiden. I don't think it's a certainty that the Yankees are not being used as leverage here. I think they could be being used as leverage here. And I wouldn't be shocked by it. So, yeah, like I think that, I don't think that the Yankees, I don't think the Yankees are necessarily all in on Snell. They could be being used as leverage here. Mitch Keller has no defense behind him now and has a rookie catcher who's trying to prove himself behind the plate. He's probably going to struggle in Pittsburgh in 2024. I would just try to, I would see what you can get, what it would take to get him. Their asking price is going to be high. The pitching market's kind of crazy, but he isn't going to get us, you're not going to be able to ask as much for him as, Dylan Cease or Corbin Burns. Maybe it's closer to what a Shane Bieber return could look like, or I guess a better return than Shane Bieber at this point. Why is Jordan Hicks, Hader, and Mario Rodriguez not signed yet? Those are some good arms. They hope they could sign soon. Imanaga has until January 11th, or he goes back to Japan. We'll see. I just think teams are not really willing to do that yet. I just don't think teams are willing to get there yet. So, I'm not really sure. I'm just not sure the Yankees are going to force themselves to sign anybody, and they're going to kind of wait and see how the market continues to navigate. Mitch Keller also doesn't have a real pitching coach in Pittsburgh. Free Mitch Keller. I would love Mitch Keller in New York. I really would love Mitch Keller in New York. I really want to see him in New York, my man. I'm going to be honest with you. If Schmidt is a bit higher in velo, he could be a great 3 or 4, but his velo makes him more of a 4 to 5. Yeah, I agree. The issue is the velocity didn't really get better. The velocity got worse throughout the season, and that kind of became an issue. So I wonder if the velocity can hold itself up. If he's 93, 94 all year, I'm really excited. But if he's 91, 92, again, that's kind of the issue, right? Cashman's best friend is the Pirates GM. That's fair. Not going to Pittsburgh. Fuck that. Sorry for the bomb. They ain't going. No, you're not. I'm not sending you there, my man. I'm dipping. You guys have a good one. Hey, we're going to be wrapping up probably by the hour mark. So, yeah. Henry is coming soon. I love that. Aiden says, hey. He says, hey to Aiden, what's good, homie? Would you take Monty or Snell? Monty on a 6-year deal. Snell on a longer-term contract. I think on a short-term contract. That's the way I view it. I don't trust Blake Snell. He throws way too many pitches. He can't last 5 innings. I don't care if Snell won the National League Cy Young Award. That's fair. That's fine. Monty's not coming back, sadly. Fair. Pittsburgh can never unlock pitchers' really good potential, true potential. It goes back to when Garrett Cole was a Pittsburgh Pirate. Maybe even when Charlie Morton was a Pirate. Tyler Glasnow's another example. They just don't get the most out of those pitchers. It is what it is. I have an inkling that this Patrick Sandoval might be available. Is in ARBs now, and some of those Angels college draft Jeeves has to eventually get run, right? I think that'd be a deadline thing, and I think it would cost a ton because he's a pretty good pitcher. So, I don't think that the New York Yankees are going to. I don't think the Yankees are going to end up trading for Patrick Sandoval right now. Ryan SB Chico, pronto. And that's sick. First off, the Spanish here is really good. I'm bad at reading Spanish. I'm bad at speaking Spanish. I don't like speaking Spanish because my Spanish is terrible, which I'm going to disgrace my entire bloodline with that. But yeah, dude, that's actually kind of sick. That's sick Spanish, dude. Can't compare Snell market to Yamamoto. Half the league wanted Yamamoto. Snell market not the same. That's fair. Blake does not give in to hitters. He has good control. He just does not give in. Yeah, that's the big thing. He does not like to force himself to throw in zone. Sign Bellinger, trade Rizzo, and make him our everyday first baseman. I don't think that's happening. And what are the odds that Bellinger doesn't, like, what are the odds that Rizzo hits Bellinger? Like, it's not low. And is he going to sign a 1-year deal? No, Bellinger's not going to sign a 1-year deal. His value is mostly in the outfield, not as a first baseman. I thought Clark Schmidt's sinker was a good pitch for him. At least it was in 2022. I think he's just learning how to sequence better. I think he thought the sinker sweeper was going to work to righties. Cutter and curveball to lefties. The cutter really didn't work to lefties as well. It worked better than righties. Sinker worked well against lefties, not so much against righties. He was just kind of all over the place. I think that he's going to have to end up figuring out a lot with his sequencing and just getting more mature as a starting pitcher. Not like he's immature, but just, like kind of figuring out some stuff with him. I think that he's just got to figure out some stuff. That's all. But yeah. Snell's a 5-inning guy, walks a ton of hitters. He walks a ton of hitters, but again, it's, as Chase mentioned earlier, it's not because he has bad command, but because he has to. Like he not the has to, because he doesn't want to give in. Like he thinks that's a better form of pitch, and it's worked for me. He won a Cy Young with it. Let's see. Ryan Garcia, I'm not going to talk about her. I'm sorry. Hey, I think he's a clubhouse cancer as well. I think he's a clown, and that's kind of the way I'm going to talk. That's the most I'll say about it. I don't think Monty's first choice is going to the Yankees. My question is, do you trade Spencer Jones, Luzardo? I would do that in a heartbeat. It would take more than that, most likely, and that's why I would not trade for Jesus Luzardo right now. Now, I also see that Tristan McKenzie could be an option potentially. Gonna see. Hold on. This Joel Sherman article, is this Joel Sherman or John Heyman? This is Joel Sherman. Let's see. Dylan Cease. We got listening mode for Skubal and Mitch Keller. I'm gonna see where Tristan McKenzie is the guy that could be available, but we don't know if it's gonna apparently be at a high price point. So I don't think the Yankees are gonna get him. Dylan Cease, that's 3 premium prospects. That's the asking price. And you also have, I think Cabrera's a realistic get. I would love Mitch Keller on the Yankees. I really would. The chin, I'm keeping that in my bio. The chin is the favorite thing I've thrown in my bio. Bubba Thompson is the new Tim LeCastro. I can see that. Yeah, I don't like him. Nope, don't like him. Just don't want it in the clubhouse. True Trevor. Yeah, Bubba Thompson is the next Tim LeCastro. So we're gonna start wrapping up soon. We're nearing the hour, and we'll have hopefully more to talk about over the next few days. We're gonna have a snowstorm in New York, so I think that might be an opportunity for me to get one of the guys on, and we can run a longer stream. We'll wait and see there. New York. So if you guys are in New York, by the way, in your tri-state area, please watch out for snow this weekend. I will not be going live tomorrow. Going to be handling some stuff in the evening. But yeah, I'm really excited to, get back to, I'm excited to continue doing these streams. These streams are fun. I love taking questions. I love talking to you guys. You guys have shown an incredible amount of support, and I'm greatly appreciative. You guys are the best. You guys are the best. You guys are the absolute best. I love you guys. And if you guys have any final questions, please get them in now. We're going to run through the hour. I don't want to end this before the hour. We're going to run through the hour. Once we hit the hour mark, I'll start reading the questions a little more. Gardens can't let Bieber walk. I would say that they're going to I think they're going to trade him at some point, just not now. I'm in Florida, no snow, bitches. Dudes, I envy you right now because I hate the cold. But I also don't like humid weather, so I don't know. Bubba Thompson's probably faster than T-Lo. You think he was leading the MLB in sprint speed at this point? Yeah, he's fast as fuck, respectfully. So yeah. Joe Sherman just dropped an article about Yoendrys Gomez. Yoendrys. Oh, he just dropped one? Let's see. I don't see it. Yoendrys Gomez? I'm going to go to Joel Sherman and just look. Because I saw the article about, guys who could be available, and I did not see Joel Sherman. Oh, okay. He has a 4th option. That's sick. That's huge. Yes, I mentioned that Luis Hill had one. This is sick as fuck. That's great. So with him having a fourth option, that means that they don't have to trade him. That's great. This is great for the Yankees. He can start in AAA. This is excellent. This is excellent. Gomez is filthy. Don't sleep on him. I agree. I definitely agree. He's great. Do you think you might have said it already? But what do you think we will lose? Who do you think we will lose in order to get Snell? I don't think we're cutting salary to get Snell personally, but yeah. Following your final questions, we're gonna start wrapping up now. So yeah. I don't think we have any more. I did see the thing about Gomez. Now he has a fourth option. So to kind of run it through a little bit, Gomez having a fourth option is huge because now they can option him, and obviously they have options for the year. That one option counts for the entire year. They can keep him in AAA for another year. They can option him up and down, and he can build himself up as a little bit as a starter. He'll be in AAA to open the year. Most likely, he'll get a chance maybe to fight for a job in spring training, but the Yankees now have him, Beater, Heel as all starting pitching depth in AAA, and I think that's nice. Will Warren as well. If they add a veteran starter, you have 4 minor league arms that can help you next year. That's huge. Damn, you got me thinking now. Snell's just using to drive the price up. It's possible, Jonathan. It's possible. I'm not saying it's impossible. It happened with Yamamoto, and I don't want to say it's impossible, you know? So, yeah. Gomez replaced King perfectly. He's very similar in the sense of, like, his stuff is so good. But we'll have to wait and see. But, yeah, thank you guys so much for stopping by. I appreciate you guys a ton. You guys have been great support. You guys can check us out on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and, of course, this YouTube page. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you guys in the next Fireside Yankees episode or stream, depending on what you want to do. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Oh, I haven't seen this, actually. Hold on. Masahiro Tanaka with a KBO team. I'll check this one out. Huh. Let's see. Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. How's it think they're playing closers because of nostalgia? Yeah, but they haven't paid one in a while, so we'll see. But anyways, check you guys out in the next one. Peace out, guys. Love you a lot. Have a great rest of your night. Peace out.